They got beef. We got steak. The rivalry continues. Steelers versus Ravens. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.
Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your Couch Rider Raven saying, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. I say thanks for coming through. So many of y'all, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with your boy, and I am very appreciative of that. Let's see who we have in the room so far. Of course, it's Lisa, down to business. She says, hey, Jermaine, let's show Pittsburgh that we mean business, and Russell Wilson will be going down. And she also is reminding you to help out the algorithm, help this show grow, share it with a friend, tell your mom, tell your wife, tell your kids, and don't forget to tap that darn like button. So I appreciate you. Oh, and the enemy has made it in the building very quickly. He may be the enemy, but he's still our friend. Kenny is here. He says the moment of truth time. And yes, it is. This is the week we've been waiting for. I'll be honest, it's not that crazy, but it's a rivalry nonetheless. Throughout the years, we have seen this battle go up and down between Harbaugh and Tomlin, Joe Flacco and Ben Roethlisberger, Lamar, Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett is actually undefeated against Lamar. It is just insane how this rivalry continues to go down. Lamar can have an excellent season, but it seems like Pittsburgh is the kryptonite. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But before we do, well, first of all, I just want to say welcome to the show. And we'll jump into our motivational moment here. So I kept thinking, I was like, what can I share with y'all? What would be uplifting, motivational? Nothing like, don't stop, get it. Yeah. For y'all young folks, just go Google it. Y'all Google everything. GTS is what we used to say and I used to teach. But keep that motivation going. Keep your momentum going by not stopping, going out there and getting what is yours. Because if you stop, then somebody else is coming behind you to take what's yours. So don't stop. Get it. All right, that is your motivational thought for today. Short and sweet, nothing special, just keeping it real. Stay on it, folks. Lisa says, we like you, Kenny. However, your Steelers are going to lose, my friend. She is calling her shot already. Told you. Y'all got beef. We got steak. Dean says, wrong shirt. Deuces. Well, fella, I mean, you're welcome here either way, but just know that we talk some Raven stuff. We try to go into the Steelers, and we invite all here. And of course, when we invite, we have our folks show up. And speaking of showing up, my main man, Kam Ru, the legend has returned. Ladies and gentlemen, gnawing on something, Kam Ru.
Yeah, this is nice. What was that?
Chilling, man, chilling. What you eating?
Mixed vegetables with rice and some steak.
Okay.
I'm starving.
Yeah. You good, man. Kenny D says Lamar plays his worst against the Steelers. I do have the stats to back that up. It is true. It's just one of those tough battles. Somebody got to have his number. And between Kansas City and Pittsburgh, they seem to get sometimes the better of Lamar. I ain't gonna say all the time. He has gotten the Steelers at least once out of those 4 times that he has faced him. Like I said, Kenny Pickett, for some reason, he gonna go down as undefeated against Lamar right now. But I mean, it's like him and Mitch Trubisky. Those are the 2 right now. They got Lamar 100%. Let's see. Kenny D says, "Welcome to Cam." And I want to see. I'm trying to check the layouts over here. They gave me some different options, so just bear with me. Okay, we got bigger circles here.
Yeah, all the nose though.
All right, so we'll back it up.
Yeah.
We'll back it up. We'll go small circle.
Yeah. You gotta see my brain.
They had some different stuff going on there. All right, so we have Lisa saying, "Hey Cam," said Russell Wilson will be state.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said. All right, so we got in our motivational moment already, and just to remind the folks, hate to break up an old subject, but just remind, we don't need Devontae. We got dogs here. We got some dogs here, man.
There you go.
It was it. I ain't said it. It was what's his name said it. Where he at?
All right.
He said, we got real burners, man. We got real burners. I'm proud of these guys. All right, because I mean, out of the last 5 weeks, or was it 5 out of the 6 weeks now? We've had over 100-yard receiver each week, and this week, Tylan Wallace,
my boy,
he absolutely showed up. There's something about that sideline for him. He just likes to he has great balance. He's all about the stiff arm. He has perfect placement, and he just stays inbounds, works his way up that sideline. So hopefully they work this into a regular play for the playbook for Tylan and make it happen, because this dude is exciting and he is elusive, and I'm pretty sure he's pissing off linebackers all around the league, like with these stiff arms. Like, oh, I can make that tackle. We'll try it on Tylan. I don't think it's going to happen. All right, so
dog is behind me. I'm sorry, my bad.
You good?
She thinks she's gonna get some of this steak, but she can't.
Oh yeah, they all trying to hustle, man. They trying to get theirs.
Yeah, but now they got sauce on. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I eat that.
All right, Brooke. She's late, but she is here.
Brooke.
She says, "Hey." Nana says, "Good evening." Lisa says, "Brooke, girl, there's no way Pittsburgh is going to win on Sunday." A little love here in the room. All right, so before we get into Pittsburgh, we need to talk about this Bengals game. Just some final thoughts on the Bengals game. I feel like, it was painful watching Jamar Chase walk up and down the field on that said wheel. Watching Joe Burrow just come out here, one play drive, boom, touchdown. It was very frustrating to watch our defense just kind of go in shambles like that. And I know they talked about accountability and all this, that, and the other. We got to stop peaking. We've got to stop peaking, and we got to stay back. It's a discipline there. And I know that everybody's going ranting and raving on Facebook about whose fault it is, who needs to go, this, that, and the other. And I know I had my fair share in that and was like, hey, Zach got to go. But, the coaches, they have actually owned up and said, hey, we need to teach it better. I'm with that. That's a fair response. We need to teach it better. So it's on players and coaches. It's a balance. I can see that. Let's see. There's some shots being fired off in the room right now.
Especially when you're playing especially when it's 3rd and 5 and you're playing 15 yards off. Like,
yeah,
the coach is telling you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes got to start to go rogue like Ed Reed used to do, but I don't think they got that type of cachet.
Yeah. It used to be like you watched the game and you couldn't see Ed Reed on the screen because he would be that far back.
They said he'll tell you, look, I'm going to jump it if they run this.
Yeah,
right now.
But it was like communication, right? It was them talking to each other.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they didn't have that.
But nobody good with this, good with that. Marcus Williams is good with playing single high, so he can just roam. You put him in cover 2, he lost.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. Like,
Yeah, I think he was trying to take on the tight end, but we had two linebackers on the tight end on that coverage, and he was caught with his pants down. It was just so bad, obvious that he
Yeah.
was out of place.
Then the one with what's up, D? The one with Tyler. Jamal catching the ball over the middle.
Yeah.
If Roquan just turned around, he could have picked the ball off. He racing back and then he turned around. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. It just looks bad. And it don't look, I don't know if they not. Look, our defensive back coach, and this is why I said this and said this to, I'm sure y'all, look, I'm not about dropping names and trying to take shots at anybody because I'm not doing it. All right, I always look at a lot of Raven podcasts. I look at the Bolt, always, of course, Ingrid, that's my boy. I look at it, I try to support.
Oh yeah,
right. So Bobby has said something in reference to, he's like, it's all the players, fault, blah blah blah. And I said, I don't think it's just the players' fault. I think it's the coaching. I said their defensive back coach is not doing a great job. He's not. Now I'm not saying he's horrible. I don't know. I don't know him from a can of paint. I know his resume.
Yeah.
You defensive analyst with this particular style of defense at Michigan. You were a defensive analyst. Now watch where I'm going here. When you were at the Falcons, you were a linebacker and the defensive back coach. During that time, they tried to make his resume look good. During that time, they went to the Super Bowl. I don't, but the Dan Quinn style of defense is not our style of defense. That's more zone heavy. I mean, you could, and they do play man, but that's more like how Seattle used to be back in the day with Pete Carroll. That's not our style of defense. And again, I'm not saying the dude is not a good defensive back coach, but if you look at what he did, opposed to when Coach the DC, I can't think of his name offhand.
Denard?
Denard.
Yeah.
Everywhere Denard's gone, the defensive back, the passing game has been number one. When he was at the Jets, they were number one.
And right now,
the Jets had dropped.
We bad.
And all I was trying to say is that I'm not saying he's a terrible coach.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's not doing a good job because they're thinking. You can see in zone, they're thinking. And we play more zone than we ever played man. We've always been a man-based team. And then it's like, well, I don't understand. Like we played like I want to say 70-30 on you can check the numbers. But everybody's been talking about it. Like we played better when we played man.
And I think it's more than just that one coach too. It's pass game coordinator for the defense, Chris Hewitt.
Right.
He's gotta be able to receive that feedback, and then on walkthrough day, they really need to walk through these scenarios. Like, hey, if we have a Calvin Austin III who has that third gear, who can kick it in and get to that next level, this is where Marcus, you got to be aware of that on the field. You see that in the next spot for some reason, boom, we need to make sure you have you're back far enough. There's no jumping on this spot. This is where our linebackers have to come into play, or we pull that one extra linebacker off the field, go into a dime coverage. If we're seeing this consistently across the field, that's where we need to step it up.
Yeah, and he was at the Falcons, but last year he was the defensive analyst for Michigan, University of Michigan. But what I'm saying is that what I was telling Bobby, because he was like, "Why are you just always blaming him?" I said, "Because they're thinking. If you're thinking any combat sport, if you're thinking, you're losing. So if I'm not going out there to react, if you're running a route and you're thinking about which way you need to go, and the ball comes to you, and you're not running, you thinking about running the proper route. This should be muscle memory. It should be boom.
I think that's what makes the difference between some good players and some great players, like Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was out there and everything was reactive. He was just able to function in that manner. Peyton Manning, before the snap, he knew exactly how this play was going to come to life, and he knew exactly what chess pieces to move before the play even happened. So he was proactive.
Right, and that comes with repetition.
Yeah.
If I'm chewing in your head, it comes with repetition.
Mm-hmm.
If we both playing in the secondary, we need to be studying somewhat together.
Absolutely.
So we communicate with each other.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of like the kicker with Ray and Ed. They used to sit down and study tape together because they said the film don't lie, and they would constantly go through and look at the tendencies of those QBs and make adjustments based off of that. But I mean, ultimately, we got the W. I told I put it on Facebook. I was like, look, how many times we've been blanked out of a game because of referees. I'll take this dub. I'll take this dub. I know the last play there may have been a couple of little Fifth Street muggins going on up in there, but I'll take that W because I mean they've given the Chiefs plenty of it this year, and it just looked like I'll be honest, when I go to that Chiefs game. I've never seen a collapse of an entire left side of a line on a special teams play like that before.
Mm-hmm.
It did make me question for just a little bit because Jose been doing all this yapping on Facebook about the script. And I've never been so annoyed because he was going off all week. It's the script. It's the script. And I'm just like, I really hate him talking about it like it's wrestling. This is not wrestling. Wrestling has a full-on script to it. We know that there's going to eventually be a chair popping out of nowhere, and somebody's going to go through a table and all this, and then eventually the belt's going to be raised by The Rock for like the 17th time or something. We know those things, but it is not a script in the NFL. This is guys out there giving their all every game. The last thing they want to do is jump into a game knowing that they're going to lose at the end of it. They're competing. Let's see here. Let's read some pay some bills when we jump forward. So it looks like they are getting into the trash talk for the Steelers and the Ravens game. Let's jump into the comments here. Brooks says, I used to like PQ Kenny. After all that yapping he did on Twitter because he was sad, I'm good on him now. I guess we do not miss Pat Queen.
Did you watch the Marlon Humphrey podcast?
Yeah, I was checking that out. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling y'all, I was laughing. I thought he was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Elliot was funny. He was funny. But he did leave a lot out there to bring into a Ravens locker room for fuel.
Oh yeah. He that's bitterness though. You can hear it all in his voice, and I understand. I think because he loved being here. He said that from the gate. You could tell he was.
But it was just the mentality, the words he said when he said Ravens players leave and become better, or he said all Ravens players leave and become better players when they leave Baltimore. And he said because Baltimore is toxic. He said Baltimore is toxic.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, bro. I was like, wait a minute. If you was becoming a better player, you wouldn't be on your fourth team right now, right? Is it third or fourth team? Because he went to Baltimore, Detroit, and Pittsburgh. And he's earning $3 million a year. If you was a better player, you wouldn't be, and I think I looked this up earlier, you wouldn't be the 42nd paid safety in the league.
This is a lot of he bitter, man. You got to take it with a grain of salt. He's bitter because he wasn't, he wanted to come back here. He loved being in Baltimore. He remember that whole time. Every time he was always this and that. He loved being here. So he bitter. That's why he was like, Eric didn't sign me. I wanted to come. He put it out there. That was. Somebody always tell you the story. When they feel some type of way, they kind of tell you the story before they even tell you the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the first thing that came out of his mouth, he didn't say EDC because he knows him as EDC.
Mm-hmm.
He said Eric DeCosta. Like he said with some bitterness.
He said Eric signed 32.
But he wanted to sign 32.
Mm-hmm. Wow. He was salty. He was mad salty on that. I mean, but you gotta look at it like this dude was like destroy. I mean, Williams was actually like owning Brady every time he hopped on the field with Brady at the time. Yeah, and so it was a good spicy upgrade to the defense. We were all excited about the signing of Williams when he brought him in.
He played in the box like him and Chuck both played in the box. They already signed Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason he really probably didn't get signed back, honestly, was because of the injuries. You know what I mean? Even though he could run a little bit, he could play a little free safety, but he put him and Chuck are like 1-1. They both box safeties.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing I forgot to put on this graphic was Arthur Marlett, because I got Deontay on there and I got the other guys, but I forgot
Me too.
to
Deontay. Well, it makes sense. Deontay knew he ain't got no contract with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they both knew over there, so they bitter.
Yeah,
a lot of bitterness. I'll wait till we start asking the questions. And I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this game. But go ahead.
Cool. Well, let's look through just a couple of these, and then we'll jump right in. Let's see. Nana says she doesn't listen to Marlon Humphrey on anything. It's probably safe, Nana. There are some things that he gets the locker room, even his own locker room, a little spicy on. All right, so we'll jump in. Let's see. First question of the day is, like, y'all been seeing this since he's been a Steeler. Or actually, we've seen this since the beginning of his career. The touch that Russell Wilson has on the ball is exceptional, and we've seen it throughout his career. And that's how he got the starting job in Seattle. He just has amazing moon balls, is what I like to call them. So how are we going to handle those moon balls? Pause. But how are we going to handle Russell's moon balls because of the way that he gives the receivers such a great opportunity to go up and make a play? And we're dealing with two guys who know how to climb the ladder to go catch a ball. And I think it probably is going to be a little frustrating if we come out there with the same defense that we walked out there with last week, because Russell is going to throw all over the yard and give these guys their opportunity to climb that ladder and come down with it. And this is where, in my mind, I think there's an approach that we got to have when it comes to our guys. And this goes back down to a high school to a Pee Wee League football technique. As a corner, when you see the white of their eyes, you got to get that head around. You have got to get that head around to make a play on the ball. And we're talking about Brandon Stevens primarily, because this is something that is just not his thing. He likes to play the player, not the ball. And so it's in the air and he's not making the right. And that's why he's either getting pass interference calls or he's getting a play made on him that's a very significant play. It's probably on third down when we thought we had everything locked up. What are your thoughts on Russell's moon balls?
If we were playing, I want our defense to. I'm praying in my head that this is the get right game. And be honest with you, it always happens when it's happened with them. They were playing horrible, and then all of a sudden they play Baltimore, and then they start playing right again. So I'm hoping that's the same thing for our defense. So, it's a beautiful ball. He threw it up to Jesus, and God put it right there.
No, it's so beautiful, and I'm like, dude, I really don't want to be looking at this beautiful ball against my team.
It's susceptible to the thing about the moon ball is that should be a nice pick. I'm not even talking about for the corner. I'm talking about, if our safeties play ball the right way, that should be a nice pick because that's what this ball is down to. But
so it's going to be harder to drop a moon ball against cover two defenses that safeties where they're supposed to be.
And I honestly, I don't know what they're doing, but I don't think Brandon should be starting. I think he should be rotating with
Tre'Davious White?
Tre'Davious White, or he should be rotating with Nate and let Marlon and Tre'Davious rotate on the other side, and throw Marlon inside because he's playing 100% of the snaps, but he's not, he's not him right now. And it's too much pressure on him. I think having how you pronounce the name?
Tre'Davious?
Tre'Davious.
Yeah, Trey White.
Trey White. All right. Tre'Davious. All right. I think Tre'Davious honestly should be like I know he's gonna be in the rotation, but he's either gonna rotate on one of those sides. But hopefully, for Brandon's sake, I hope this is a good way for him to learn.
I agree. I think when you sit out there and you get to take just an outside look in as you're taking a breather and seeing the technique that wide receiver is trying to put on this guy, you can come back in and be like, all right, this is the adjustment I should have made while I was in there. Outside looking in, like relationships. You can see everything on the outside. looking in. But when you in a relationship, you might have those blinders on.
Yeah. So hopefully this is a good, But I really think that our best two corners are playing on the same side. I think he is stepping up. Like he's getting better and better.
So another factor that on the same topic that could be an issue. Of course, we got Russell Moonballs. We got these guys that are bigger wide receivers out there. But we also have on the other side of the field that guy at corner. He's a rookie, but he's a little handsy at times. And this referee crew that is being brought in, Clay Martin, is probably the most they call the most penalties on for pass interference in the league. I think
it's not the same crew from last week.
This is they said it was Clay Martin. Let me see if I got the screenshot. Nope, that's the salary cap one. I thought I pulled it up earlier. Is it? No, it's about the techniques. And that was about earlier about the other stuff. Then of course, like you said, I think there should be some substitutions, and maybe if they can't get it right on the back end, I think that this guy or these guys, maybe they get a chance. Maybe they get an opportunity to show what they got. And for those of y'all who know who this is Bo Brady, and we got Sanusi. Is it Sanusi or Sanusi Kane?
Sanusi Kane.
Sanusi Kane. So these guys are our backup safeties here who they show potential. Of course, potential, I mean, you ain't did nothing yet, but there's opportunity there if these starters are starting to mess up. They maybe put these guys in the rotation to see how they react to these deeper shots down the field and see if they stay disciplined and not try to jump something up front. You want us to take chances, lead it up to Hamilton.
Yeah. Everybody can be getting cooked, though. I'm not in it.
Yeah, I just want them to stay back. Safety is supposed to be the last line of defense, and let's make it that. Let's pay these bills here. All right, Jared's here. Kenny says Gerald Nate is too short to cover Pickens and Williams.
That's a lot, brother.
True. That's not true.
That's a lot.
Hey, I think Nate has the length. He's got the long arms. He's skinny, but that boy he can cover. He can cover you like a blanket.
6'3".
And I think, I'll be honest, PFF, they didn't give that touchdown. They didn't say that he gave up the touchdown to Jamar, but I'm going to go ahead and count him in on that. That's the only touchdown he's given up this season.
He should have. Here we go. This goes back to thinking too much. Simpson already covering the flat.
Yeah.
You dropping back, and then Darius took the wrong angle. He should have stuck right with him. He ran into Nate on him jumping up in there. So
yeah, and I think they mistimed the jumps.
Yeah.
If anything, one of them should have been looking right at Chase and be like, "Oh, you went up that high? Oh yeah, we shoving you out of bounds, by the way."
Yeah. Well,
let's see here. What other slanders being going on in here? Lisa says losing isn't an option for me, and we won't be having crying towels. Okay. Jared says, honestly, I still think that Derrick Henry will run through the Steelers defense.
I hope so.
Glad this isn't Hoops Kenny. And Joey Porter Jr., real grabby. Hopefully that works in our advantage. It did say that it would most of the calls that Clay Martin's crew calls is against the away team. They said it was more. It's kind of balanced, but most
away team.
Yeah, they do the away team. There was this one. There's a site called Zebras or something like that. Pro Zebras basically gives all the stats on that. So y'all want to take a look at that site. It'll show you like who's refereeing what game, what calls are made and stuff like that. So they normally make their calls against the away team. Yeah, they call it against the away team the majority of the time. So it's kind of we can be a little frustrated. Don't get me wrong, but it's what they say. Like if we leave it to the cards, we can still play our game and try to pull out this dub.
That's true. We'll leave it to the cards.
Because I mean, even with the game we had this past week, I think Cincinnati maybe had 23 yards in penalties. We had over 80 something.
Oh yeah, they said this that referee team they call everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
it's gonna be tough. So then, but even in the midst of all that darkness, there was some light because we had again, folks, again for the third time, Lamar, offensive player of the week. You see that QBR rate? You see that passer rating right there, 141.4.
I'm predicting he's gonna be offensive player of the week all month.
4 tutties.
Yep.
They said, "Look at this, guys." They said, "Let me pull this. Let me put this comment away right quick so I can show you what's going on." I got stuff, banners. I got junk all over the screen. All right.
They
So
got
you take a look at it. According to Jameson Winsley, man, this dude has really been balling out. Between you look at 2019, he got it 5 times. In his MVP year, he got it 2 times. And this year, he's got it 3 times. He's trading in and out with Derrick Henry left and right. So I think it's Derrick's turn this week. So
it's been his twice already. This
yeah,
month.
it's been Derrick's twice already, man. It's just been I don't know if I showed you that one. They were going back and forth with it.
No, I'm talking about this month. It's been Lamar's twice already, right?
It's been Lamar's twice. It's been Derrick Henry's 2 times. So
Week
4,
6.
5, 6, 7, and then so 5, 7, and 10 has been weeks 5, 7, and 10 has been Lamar, but 4, 5, and 4 and 6 has been Derrick. So now it's Derrick's turn again. But hey, it's awesome to have those type of weapons on offense to where we are so proud of the offensive attack. Back in the day, y'all remember them struggles. Y'all remember the Kyle Bowler days. Y'all remember Derek Mason was our leading receiver, and on Sunday Night Football it was a snoozer for us most of the time.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up? Can you look up and find out this season? When were our worst passing games? I mean, as far as the records, as far as defensively.
Let's see. I mean, I have the. Let's see. I have that we gave up 428 yards and 4 touchdowns to Joe Burrow.
Okay. Before that,
and then the other one before that was Joe Burrow again. He's got over 800 some yards and passing yards against us. So.
Okay. Go ahead. Go. I mean, I'm seeing the pattern. Other than the passing yards, any team that we play that's over 500, we beat them by 2 touchdowns this year. Did you notice that?
So you saying we play down to the level of the competition?
Yes. Too many times.
Yeah, I think so too. When it came to the Broncos, when it came to the Broncos, I mean, we did pretty well against. So that was one of those teams like, all right, look, we tired of getting punched in the mouth by teams that are down, that are honestly beneath us. So the peasants come through and we lose to the peasants, or we actually barely beat the peasants. So we got to have those. We need a convincing win to show this team, show this league, like, hey, we here.
Okay, look at all the close wins we had in the losses. We lost to the other than the first game of the season because everybody 0-0.
Yeah, lost by a toe.
I was by 1 point, right? Yeah, lost by a toe. Losing to the Raiders, right? Just we let them outscore us.
Yeah, and it was like the demise of their team came right after that. The whole daggone team seemed like it just imploded.
Dallas wasn't doing that good. We should have just finished them after the third quarter should have been done deal. We tried to let them come back.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Yeah, he may be a friend of yours for 21 years, but he put Baltimore through some stuff.
Yeah, trash.
The only people that was pleased with Kyle Bowler is the women of Baltimore because they thought he looked good.
He's a friend of yours? Sorry. Oh.
So I guess we'll move into the next thought here. So we talked about handling Russell's moonballs. Next question is, we've seen it. I think it's been said on the show a few times tonight. LJ is 1-3. 1-3 against the Steelers. He's had a 66.8 QBR rating. He's only had 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in those games. It just seems like they got his number. How can he break this trend? How can he break his Steelers leash because they got ownership over LJ right now.
Should have broke it last year when he played.
Yeah.
Because everybody was dropping the ball.
Yeah.
No, everybody
We
remembers.
did see, was it eight drops that game?
Yeah, he can't throw the pick. I'm like, threw the pick because you was told to throw it to an older version of Odell who can't move like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought he was going to be in one place. He wasn't there. So that's why.
I feel like this is kind of one of those games where I get that he wants to like show out against these guys, but I still feel like we got to treat this like we did the Denver game. Give the rock to Henry, continue to give the rock to Henry, and run it into play action. That way, it will open up both Zay and Henry because they got rolling when they did that. Because Zay and him got 106 yards and 127 yards, and both of them had 2 touchdowns apiece when we got that rolling like that.
Kenny, as much as I think that right now, y'all playing better overall, in my opinion, than we are as far as like on defense, really, because I'm a big defense head. I love defense more than I love offense, even though I love watching Lamar play since he first started and in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling y'all gonna lose this game, brother. It ain't gonna, y'all not gonna escape like y'all did last year. It ain't gonna be that type of party.
And this is the team, Baltimore, we usually ain't getting pressure, but with Namdi stepping up.
Is Boo Boo. If y'all had a hard, sorry, hold on. I gotta finish with Kenny real quick. If your O-line had a hard time with Washington over there, I'm gonna have a problem, bro.
I say Rushface took 3 sacks.
Should have had a few more of them things, but you know that O-line is Boo Boo.
I'm like, look, y'all opening up the swing gates, then let this team get like they let Van Noy get loose and Namdi get loose in there. I think that we're gonna have at least 2 sacks this game.
Russ gonna be giving up the cheeks. Pause.
Love it.
He gonna give up 3 of them cheeks. Pause. I need 3 picks on the day.
Let's see. Delicious says, Lamar got something for them this year. We're not getting swept by the Steelers again. I agree. I think this is the year that Lamar actually takes that leap over this team. And it's a tough look at, when you look at the past games, you see Lamar playing his heart out. And the rest of the team's not pulling it with him.
I'm giving up the cheeks, though.
Our O-line is not perfect, but they will hold up well against the Ravens.
You're gonna be doing a lot of holding.
A lot of hope and wishing going on. Oh my goodness. What's here? Brooke says if Harves throws a bad challenge flag, I'm pulling up. I mean, he in his bag when it comes to these challenges.
You better already be in PA.
she gonna pull up, man.
You better pull up quick, bro. Because he's gonna do it. You know he's gonna do it. You're notorious for doing it.
Jerry, you got some. You were reaching for the stars right now.
I like it, G. Just hate on him. You hate on him.
All right, so we know that we discussed LJ breaking the Steelers' leash. Let's move forward into, everybody's got situations that get frustrating, and we can see, like, last week we knew that Jamar Chase was the problem child, right? Mm-hmm. We knew that actually Chase Brown, before the fumble, was starting to cause problems right up the middle of this defense. It was weird because I'm like, hey, this is a run-stopping defense here. So who is the problem children that we're going to have to deal with on Sunday?
TJ Watt, of course. That's the old the usual suspects, TJ Watt. And
now they got Preston Smith over there. So this could be another problem. And at Preston, I was looking at the ages. I'm like, TJ Watt's 30, Preston Smith is 31, and they still are playing at a high level.
Yeah.
I don't know if Highsmith over there. Is he hurt? Or is he
hurt his ankle?
Okay, so he may not be as effective, but Preston Smith is in there, so they may not miss a beat.
He may not play.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's as good as I don't think Preston Smith is as good as Al Smith.
Yeah.
Al Smith can speed rush really good. Well, I ain't gonna talk about. I ain't had Cam is that dude. So I'm thinking about outside of Cam Hayward. That's the usual though. Cam Hayward. I mean, if you want me to bring him in here, George Pickens, okay. T.J. Watt, Mika always.
Yeah.
They got dogs all around, man. It's like looking in the mirror. That's what made this rivalry so special because you looking at yourself. It's like looking at your big brother or your twin brother, and you trying to like, all right, we're gonna put the boxing gloves on. Pop said we're gonna go at it.
Absolutely. I think Najee is actually starting to catch on too. I think they had a good understudy as far as trying to how to prepare for Henry. I'm not saying Najee is Henry, but when you think about the build and how you're actually trying to go through your walkthroughs,
Yeah.
Najee is the best piece of the scout team that they could use if they're trying to stop Henry. But of course, there's the scheme that they probably don't have down 100% to try and stop that. So that's where we have the advantage. We have the better running back, and we have the scheme to go along with it when it comes to that. But Pickens could be a headache because he had, last week he got 5 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. And then Najee has 3 touchdowns. He's got 648 yards. But of course, King Henry is totally eclipsed that number because he's got 1,200 yards now, right?
Well,
Henry, no, 1,120 yards and 12 touchdowns. My bad.
yeah.
But I think another headache that we're not thinking about is Jaylen Warren.
Warren is nice.
Yeah. Warren is nice, and he's a good change of pace back with Najee. And the thing about Baltimore, we like to keep everything in front of us. That's the discipline of the defense when it's operating correctly. But what happens when they do that is the wheel routes, the passes to the flats. Those are things that are a little bit more open and a little bit more available for Russell to throw to, which then ends up having us creep up and we get a little antsy and then we get beat up over the top. So if they can find a way to stop some of that action that's going on, which Kyle Hamilton has been really good at lately, stopping the screen pass. So hopefully he's on the field. You think he'll play?
They said he was jogging today, so he's a tough dude, man.
Yeah. And when he went down with the ankle, I'm over here just like Dana about to cry for the TV, man. I was like, no.
I thought he bust the will, bro. I thought it was over. I was like,
man, he going for the season. What we gonna do, bro?
Then when they showed the replay, that dude kicked him right in the ankle and kicked his feet from under him. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, and it's just ball, but at the same time, you're frustrated. Like, I hate him. I hate him.
All right. He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for Friday move. Yeah, if we can't cover him, somebody got.
I think when it comes to the middle of the field, we just we do struggle with things at the middle of the field because that's how the defense is designed to keep everything in front of them, and it's usually the linebackers have to really step up and make a play. So when it comes to tight ends,
this is what I would do. Sorry, cut you off.
Yeah,
I'm going man to man, and I'm playing over top on both. Okay. On both because it's going to be Mike Williams and if you can beat me with Frymouth and Wilson,
yeah,
then we just ain't good enough.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna beat me with George Pickens, and you're not gonna beat me with Mike Williams. Not going up top and letting Pickens get the straight offensive pass interference that's never called because it's real clear, and it's usually because he's just so tall, so they just give it to him. No.
So I think the tight ends are going to be an issue because if you look at how the Steelers' top tight end, Frymouth, was doing the last 3 games, so he had 8 targets for 4 receptions and 31 yards, 0 touchdowns against Washington. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions for 35 yards against New York Giants. And then the Jets, he went 4 for 4 for 7 yards, and he had a tutty. But then I looked at they got another target over there, Darnell Washington, and Russell Wilson loves the bigger targets, as you can see them on the outside. But to have a bigger target like Washington across the middle is a big factor. And one other guy that is a sleeper factor, I wouldn't even say sleeper, I'd say he's starting to catch a lot more targets from Russell is Calvin Austin III.
Austin, I called him Wilson. I'm sorry, Austin.
Yeah, so Calvin Austin has 14 targets.
If we
And
lose to Austin, I'll take it. I'm not losing because of George Pickens.
yeah,
You got to take away what's best. That's
Yep.
what we got to. I don't understand why we're not doing that. Like, take away. If it was just Jamal Chase in there, sorry, go back to that game. You got to beat me with somebody else, but you're not going to beat me with him. I don't care if everybody. If you can always play man on one person and play zone every place else. So you have somebody else there. There's no reason he should be running by himself. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that goes back to coaching and the scheme. Like, that's not good. That's not good.
All right, so those guys are the ones we got to look out for. Like you said, there's a lot of different offensive weapons here. It's just how they're going to utilize them based off of our strengths. And of course, one of our strengths is Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, that's whoever's in the slot, it's probably going to be canceled out for the most of the part of the game. It's just going to be the guys on the outside are going to have to step up and actually beat those one-on-ones if we're playing man. Let's see. Next question. Now that we covered our problem children, and I think we covered some of this earlier, what adjustment is Orr going to make to get this defense right? I know Harbaugh is engaged now a lot more.
Adjustments.
Huh?
What I just talked about, that's one of the adjustments. You should be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that Bill Belichick did. And being that Dean Pease was under him, that should have been the first thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Take away the number one by whoever the best player is, you take him away by any means necessary. The best player on Pittsburgh's offense is George Pickens. Take him out the game.
And I'm like, what happened to doubling? We used to have like an entire defense that was set up to double one player. It was, I think, when Devontae, they had called an entire bulldog formation. They had 4 players was able to cover Devontae. So that's kind of weird how we don't have one that's set up around.
That's with Wink.
Yeah, that was with Wink. Yeah.
Only one that's been there on that defensive side that's been coaching. I know he's an assistant head coach now. Is Chris Horton. I don't know how much I don't know how much he's worried about the defense other than just the defense, being a pass game coordinator.
Yeah.
But you the pass game coordinator, so you know what these guys can do.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta figure out who's who because it's not looking good.
Oh, Chris Hewitt, yeah, because Chris Horton is the special team coordinator.
He was been there the whole time.
Yeah.
He was there with Wink. He was there with Mike. We had a turn. You never notice how big of a turnover it was by losing 4 coaches to go off to be a DC someplace. That's it. It just changed the whole scheme. Like everybody's new in there, and everybody's from like college, which to me bothered me a little bit. But I'm like, why don't I didn't think about it at the time because we had the same player. So I figured, okay, Zach know the scheme. We're gonna run the same scheme. But
Everybody's not a fan. She said, throw the playbook in the trash.
Can't do that now. It's not really the playbook. It's when you call in the plays at the right time, bro. It's not even. It's the same thing. When you playing defense, you got to call the right plays. Like you got to call the right plays on offense. You got to call the right pass. You got to check into or have the right pass. Have the right pass coverage at the same time. You can't be in 3rd and 5 and tell your safeties to play 15 yards deep, and you're playing zone. Why are you not playing man right there? It's 3rd and 5. That's situation awareness. It's 3rd and 5. Lock up. It's only 5 yards to get a first. So that's dying by 1,000 cuts right there.
Yeah.
That's 5,000 cuts. If you letting them matriculate down the field, after a while your defense gonna be tired. When we play,
I think it's just also just consistency of the communication between even the defensive coordinator to Roquan, because there's some type of breakdown between him and the rest of the defense, and especially in the red zone, because we're seeing full-on deer in the headlights, and we're seeing deer in the headlights from our view. They are completely lost in the sauce on the field in the red zones.
When it comes to the running game, they locked in.
Yeah.
But for some apparent reason, our linebackers they're not seeing it. Like when it comes to zone, it's like, okay, where I need to be. Instead of go back to it last year. Trenton Simpson should be doing what PQ did. You got the linebacker, you got the running back. I'm right here in the middle. Roam. That's what Rowe would do. He would roam that middle. Trenton, he can cover anybody. He has the speed to do so, and he has pretty good technique. He ain't. I'm saying he's going to win everyone, but it's just bad. I don't know.
I think Nana's saying it's bad OJT right now. We don't need OJT. We need guys ready to rock. And acronyms. On the job training. We don't need on the job. We need on the job superstars. B Cam is here. He says, only hope for this D is to create tier turnovers. As far as adjustments, it hasn't happened by now. If it hasn't happened now he's saying, well, it will never happen. I'm like, well, I mean, we could make adjustments,
It's just again, we've always been a man-based, like we've always played man-to-man. The game that we decided that we were going to play man-to-man, we were down 2 corners. And Brandon was getting cooked. JD was getting cooked. And that's us. I'm talking about when we played Cleveland. And that was just an emotional game. Didn't make sense. If you look at the Dallas game, they got sticky. They were playing man-to-man.
Yeah.
Those first 3 quarters, I'm not saying we can't play zone because you can't play man-to-man all day. You'd be dead tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Especially when it comes to drags or mesh, like you really get lit up on that.
That should be at least, if Brandon loses like he's been losing, where he's not giving that much separation, only thing he's not doing is turnaround, I can live with that, opposed to you getting smoked. Like, oh my God. Like you
full on stogie in this joint.
No. Horrible.
Amanda has something to say here. She says, Kam Ru, or is there a Couch Rider and Kam Ru, then Couch and Kam Ru. Did y'all see Dean Pease calling our guys MFs at the Bengals game, and Zach Orr out there shaking his head on national TV?
Yes, I did.
I missed it. I got to go back and see that.
I did, because they.
I got to go see this now.
I was laughing too, but I was laughing because he's frustrated. I don't know what.
I need to see. I need this clip. I don't need this clip.
Because something's not going right. So,
was he just like you, mother?
I don't know what the play was. I don't know what happened, but they went up and then they kept the camera there for a second. I think they were actually going to talk about because they all in the same press box. I think they were actually going to talk about Todd Monken, but they said something and he was on the camera. He was livid. I was like, yo, I was in tears. I was like, yo, you can't. I don't know. I feel bad for Zach. I know he's doing. You can do but so much as the coordinator. One. Yeah. Number 2, I don't know. I'm sure he's not in charge of hiring the defensive staff.
Yeah.
Maybe he has an input, but how much experience would he have hiring the defensive staff when he wasn't groomed around anybody else other than the people that were there?
I imagine if he gets a second year, I think maybe they give him an opportunity to go scout some college guys.
But I'm talking about like because I'm talking. So basically I'm blaming it on the Hawks. Like you brought in this dude to be the defensive coach,
and
he was the defensive analyst. He was the defensive back coach in Atlanta. But this is the same. All I can think about is like, okay, they were good that year when they went to the Super Bowl. They, I forgot who they beat. I think they beat Green Bay to go to when they played New England. But then they get roasted at the end.
Who?
When New England came back that year, New England came back on the Super Bowl.
Oh, the 28-3?
Yeah, he was the linebacker and defensive back coach.
Oh, ooh, wow.
I don't know how to.
That's just like a momentum. That was momentum craziness, man. Like I ain't never seen it. It all started with that fumble.
I could be mad at him because I was thinking it in my head where I was like, "What is going on?" They always I was like, "Yo, that came from the soul when he did it." I was in tears. Sometimes you gotta laugh though.
He probably got a couple people in his corner after that.
It was like, hey, put the camera back on. No.
All right, we gotta move forward here. So our next question was, what are our keys to victory on Sunday? What can we do to secure this victory? What is the major things that we got to do?
One, we gotta establish the run, which is gonna be hard to do against the defense, but we gotta do it.
Yeah, this is a team that is ranked fourth against the run in the league, and they're 16th against the pass. So this is kind of where it's going to have to be a balanced attack.
It gotta be, but we gotta be able to. We can't stop ourselves. We gotta be on. Like I need us to be on, like we played Buffalo. Like even the offense gotta be on, like they played Tampa. Like we gotta be on. Like these past couple of games, the offense been slow rolling to get in. You know what I mean?
I mean, and Broncos, they were pretty good against the run when we faced them, and we still did okay. They're pretty solid. So I think,
well, they were technically they were the number one defense. Am I correct?
Yeah, they were in the top 5. I know that for sure.
And Kenny, not trying to take no shots at y'all, but taking a shot at y'all. Y'all didn't really play nobody yet. That was good. If you can tell me other than y'all just by the excuse my language, Deacon, by the skin of your ass, you just won last week. So
true. Well, wasn't that they won because they got them to jump off sides?
Huh?
They won because they got them to jump off sides, didn't he?
No, they won. I thought Zach Ertz got the first down. They had just all Washington had to do was get in field goal range. I thought Zach Ertz. I thought he got in. I thought he had the first. It looked like he had the first down, but the ref said he didn't have the first. So but it was that, and I don't know why you decided to go 1-on-1. That was a bad play call, but that was a good play by Mike Williams. I was like, there you go. And he just threw it up to him, and he roasted number 25 for Washington. Jesus, I was like, so but if you can tell me somebody I played that was good, Kenny, I would appreciate it because I can't really think of nobody that had a good record that y'all played, that y'all beat. Y'all lost to. I'm asking, bro. Y'all won by the skin of your ass. Like cheat game is on.
Let's go back and see who they had in the past. So the last 3, of course, we looked at the last 3 games. They faced against the Commanders, the Giants, and the Jets.
No.
All 3 games, they may have been facing some people that weren't contenders. Let's just call
all
it.
3 games between the Giants and the Jets, they got the same record as they got the same amount of wins together as Pittsburgh has, as well as we do. So,
and then, of course, they had the Raiders after Devontae left.
No.
And they were doing the QB carousel, so that was kind of really bad for them there. No. And then they had the Cowboys, who were in basically shambles.
Hold on. So Russ has played the Jets. He beat the Jets. He beat the Giants. And he beat Washington. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Penny?
Let's see here.
He's 3-0 as a starter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might be 4-0.
Is he 4-0 as a starter?
Checking it.
I know the first game he started was a Sunday night game against the Jets. I don't know who they played after that. I know they played.
Yeah, so it's the Jets, Giants, and then Washington. So 3-0.
Okay.
So they just
any given Sunday, I know that, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just looking at
they played the Colts before that.
They lost to the Colts.
They lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah, y'all shouldn't have lost that game. I don't know how that happened. I went to sleep. I thought y'all was gonna win that. And the next thing you know, I don't know.
And they beat the Chargers.
Yeah, that was a decent game. Okay, so that might be it. So I'm gonna give you the Chargers and the Colts.
And the Broncos and
they played the Broncos.
Yeah, they played the Broncos.
Yeah, I won't give them that. That was barely. There was no high scoring in that.
It was 13-6 on that one.
Yeah.
and then they beat the Falcons. So I think that was a pretty solid matchup.
So that was the first game of the season. So
Yeah.
I throw that as a coin flip when it's the first game of the season. You either. But
He said the Jets had a winning record when they played them.
they didn't have no
That
winning
whole
record.
team is a hot mess express. How are you going to count that as a W?
What? They didn't have no winning record. They just lost the
I guess a W is a W, but still, it's just that Jets are just a horrible franchise. They just take players in. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just old right now. You can see the oldest in his play, and for him to get coaches fired.
Hold on. Yeah, take
Okay.
that.
There we go. Hold that for you.
What? You said the Jets had a winning record.
Had to go off screen for that. I don't need people at church bugging me. All right, let's see. So they won 3 games. I don't know when they had a winning record.
I don't recall. They didn't have a winning. They lost to Buffalo. I don't recall them having a win. What was it? What was the record, brother? You should know. This your team.
Yeah.
What was the record?
He's talking. Look it up. Oh, you look it up. You someone said they had a winning record.
It's your team, sir.
Oh my gosh. He ain't got it.
They just lost to Buffalo, so I know they wasn't. I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, I can go look, and be like, all right, look at this here.
He needs to look it up. It's his squad.
They 0-1. The Jets 1-1.
What was the record when they played Buffalo?
When they played Buffalo?
Mm.
Shit, I don't know. They beat the Patriots, so they was like 2-1.
Okay, when they played Buffalo.
Yeah.
This is around. Remember they lost to Minnesota. Weren't they like 2-3 when they played Buffalo?
I'm going through some of these losses. So it's 2-2 by week 4.
Mm. Kenny, you lying. You lying. You got a lot of kick it, Craig. You ain't got a lot.
2-3 because they lost to the Vikings.
They were 2-3.
Yeah.
And right after that, Salah got fired.
2-3, looking for the Jets.
And they played.
And then they was 2-4 by the time they got to the Bills.
You had no winning record. Kenny, why you lying, B?
And then, of course, 2-5 after the Steelers.
Stop. Kenny can't count. He can't come back and count. You ain't allowed to talk no more, Kenny, till you can count.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, they beat a bad Patriots team and the Titans before them. So yeah, everybody else is bringing it up. Here we go. So Jets had a losing record. Kenny's sitting here lying, and he got caught in it. Brooks said Kenny will just say anything.
He's lying. Kenny lying.
All right. So the last piece we at is whose revenge game is this really? Because when you look at it, I mean, Deshaun, is it really a revenge game for him, or is he just mad at DeCosta? Huh?
Players, the team.
Players. Whose revenge game is this?
Well, Deshaun is so bitter. I guess it's his revenge. I see that part of that talk is like mad arrogant. Like I just thought it was funny because he was so bitter about it. I would have to laugh because this is how much him and Marlon are good friends because he was talking cash. I was like, bro, chill out.
He was selling tickets in that joint.
All types of tickets. He was like, yo, I'm over here with a real team, and I'm like, oh man.
He even said the food was better. I'm like, man, here you go with this food stuff again.
Yeah, nobody care. Nobody care. But I'm happy for him. I hope he does have a wonderful career there. I just hope he don't play good against us. PQ.
I think based off of the Twitter offseason, I think he wants to have a good game.
I think more. If anybody is a revenge game for, I think it's more for Deontay. Arthur had his moment last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Yeah. But
I think he showed up last year. Yeah.
But I think for Arthur, he definitely want to beat him too because they didn't resign him. But I think it's more for Deontay. But I don't think he even thinking like that, man. Maybe on game day he is, but I just want Lamar to light y'all up, bro. Kenny, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be real. I want us to beat y'all like bad, like
yeah. I think
Like
it would definitely be a Lamar Jackson revenge game.
I want to put the work on y'all. You
Yeah.
can call him a head case. He ain't show nothing yet. Here, he probably. I
And
know.
I think people took that tweet out of proportion. I mean, if somebody says there's two sides to every story, that doesn't mean I'm disgruntled with an organization. That just means there's two sides to every story.
He could have been talking about something personal. We don't know what's going on.
And it could be like, hey, y'all not seeing that I'm out here, I'm only put in certain plays and certain packages, and these plays are set up for the success of these guys, and I'm here to sacrifice.
And
That could be what it means.
and again, we don't know if he didn't even mention football.
Yeah.
It could have been about something personal. Then his agent probably said, "Yo, put that down, take that down," because they think it's about football.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to get a contract here, you don't want that to be on your resume. So take it down.
Mm-hmm.
He took it down. Kenny hasn't spoken out of term or been any type of way since he's been here. So
Yeah, there's no AB gene in Deontay. He got a little sprinkle of diva, but it hadn't been shown here. It hasn't shown here.
But at the end of the day, like who said this? I think Todd Monken said it. He's like, if you show me a player that don't want the ball, especially a receiver, I show you a loser.
Yeah. I mean, we see that. Like every single player on that field has to have some type of dog mentality, especially in the skills positions. You ever met a nice cornerback?
Yeah, you got to take advantage. Yeah, you got to take advantage of the time when you get. If he didn't, and I don't know why people dogging him because he slipped. I mean, it happens. You see Lamar slip all the time. You ain't gonna dog him because he slipped. Like it happened. If he'd have caught that though, he was taking it to the crib. He was taking it to the house if he had slipped.
Oh yeah, I think so. And I think this is where like him and Lamar, they've been getting chemistry this week. And like I said, there's going to be installed plays that are set up for his success. I don't think it's going to be like the he takes over the game type stuff, but it will be like, all right, here's a key play that you can get a first down on. You can celebrate a little bit, like, hey, I'm having success here.
And he don't. It don't seem like you even in Carolina, you can tell when he get into his groove. He get into his groove, like he feeling himself. But that's like any receiver. Like Tylen got into his groove. You could tell he was feeling himself. I thought he was about to score again the way he was playing.
Hey, Brooke, what did Tomlin say?
What is it? I didn't see what Mike Tomlin said about him.
He was talking about the refs.
Why you gonna do all that, brother? You ain't gotta do all that.
They're gonna shave his head ball. He crazy. He said it's already ball.
Might already be ball. We don't. We don't know what you look like, Kitty.
We don't really know what he looked like, huh? Kenny, if we win, you have to say Lamar is the greatest QB to ever live.
I'd rather you say that.
Yeah.
But
I said I want Lamar to beat the Steelers like they stole something. It just heads up. I do have a standing bet. It's a lifetime bet against a friend of mine down in San Antonio. He's a huge Steelers fan. He's annoying as all get out as far as taking pictures in front of his fancy retirement pool with the score of the game and stuff. If the Ravens happen to lose and I change the profile pic on my Facebook, just know that I'm still a Ravens fan. I ain't going nowhere. I just happen to lose a bet.
I really think I know we lost that game against Kansas City, but we should have, and that's a game we should have won, right? I think like Lamar showed that no team is his kryptonite. I want us to win this game, of course. Our defense, if our defense shut them down, they come to play. We can definitely win this game, bro. I think Lamar gonna go off like he did the first week of the season. It just seemed like it's gonna be his time, bro. It's his time, bro. You gotta respect him, Kenny. You gotta respect him. I know a lot of disrespect going on up in there.
Talking that trash. I'm hoping I don't have to touch the black and yellow. I need the Ravens to pull this one out, please.
Oh man, this would be bad.
Oh, Jared said I need a Jackson 5, possible Jackson 5. You know what, Jackson 5 going live would be great.
Jackson 5, boy.
But this is a stingy defense here, and Elliott is leading them in tackles. I think he's got about 43 tackles on the season. He leads the squad. And then of course there are two corners with 3 interceptions apiece on the Steelers defense. And it's not who you think it is. It's not Porter. Porter's got 1.
The slot, right? The slot corner.
Yeah.
31.
And then that with the other one, I think the other one's injured, right?
Jackson got
Yeah.
he's pulled his hammy, so I don't know if he's playing. Kenny should have the injury report on your team, Kenny. What's the injury report on your team, Kenny?
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
This week, Kenny. Isaiah Likely is back on the field, Kenny.
Oh yeah, Likely coming. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet to have Likely back, man. It's gonna be a major boost to this offense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't let TJ Watt wreck, especially on the rookie. He's gonna be on the rookie too.
Mm-hmm.
Smith is out. I don't know. Is Jackson out? The corner?
Let's find out here.
Is he practicing?
I thought they put in. Didn't they put? Don't they put those injury reports on Twitter?
Well, depending on. I guess they do.
Let's see here. 6 hours ago, Ravens Steelers injury report. Here we go. So we have Najee Harris did not practice with an ankle injury. Linebacker Nick Herbig, he's a hamstring, but he came back fully. Cam Hayward is on a rest day, did not practice, not injury related. And then Highsmith is an ankle, did not practice. Dante Jackson didn't practice, hamstring. Van Jefferson quadricep didn't practice. McCole Pruitt knee didn't practice, and Isaac Simalo, the offensive lineman, not injury related. He's just resting. With us, we got Ham out. Ham didn't practice. Jalen Armour-Davis came back from a knee. He's full. Isaiah Likely's limited. Brett Irvin is going through concussion protocol, but he full practice. And then Van Noy did not practice due to an illness.
Sick of the refs.
Yeah, man.
He got sick off the refs. The refs got him sick.
I'm tired of it, y'all. I'm sick of this.
He was straight sick of the refs, yo.
Let's see here. B Cam says Ronnie revenge game versus
Yeah,
PJ rode on his ankle on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
I remember that. Yeah. Rosenberg got to hold up his side. Bird got to hold up his side, man. I think these are the type of linebackers that were out, edge rushers that he works well with, because TJ Watt is more of a speed back. You know what I mean? He's coming. He's not the big outside linebacker. Like, he's not a big DN like Zadarius Smith that's gonna run him over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he can drop his ankle a little bit better, like he did when he had to play Max Crosby. Like, Crosby and TJ are very similar, not because they white. Just saying that they're high motor in the way they rush.
So Alex Smith is out officially? I didn't see anything on that.
Alex Smith is out.
Highsmith.
Well, they said the ankle was bad, so I mean, thank God he didn't really injure himself. You know, it looked real bad. I saw the game. I saw the Washington game. It looked real bad though. He probably gonna take a couple of weeks to heal.
Okay, he's out possibly 2 to 3 weeks, not season ending. That was yesterday. Low ankle sprain, no broken bones.
It looked like it looked like he was literally like, this is his foot.
Yeah.
It was just like this. This is his foot. And he was just on the ankle itself, like on the bone.
Ooh.
His foot just turned. I thought it was broke. I didn't even know what happened though. Like, he just took a bad step on the turf. It looked bad. So, yeah.
What you talking about, Brooke? Not because they're white.
No, man. Shut up, Brooke. Because I said Crosby and TJ Watt are very similar in how they rush the passer, because they're speed rushers and they have a high motor. I said, not because I don't want people to think, because I said it because they're white. Not
okay. Okay. Gerald says, I want us to give the Steelers the biggest stone cold stunner. I'm with it. I'm with it.
100%.
Oh boy, we over here. We had an hour 14 minutes. Brooke hit the clock. Probably she hit it on time. I remember.
Yeah, she hit the clock on time.
I was like, dang. So I was like, she's on it. I couldn't even hit the big one.
Correct, bro.
Good job, Brooke. Good job.
Thank you, bro.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming through, man. Thanks for tuning in to the home original sports perspective from our couch to yours. We all for a W on Sunday because we're like, hey, we need to get this game.
Kenny been talking facts since last year when the game even counting.
We need to show Russell like, hey, this is how you do it. But of course, we falling off the couch continually. We appreciate the love.
Salute.
Y'all always y'all make us smile in here, man. Y'all make our Wednesdays go well. So hopefully it's the same for y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the Home Original Sports Perspective from our couch to yours. Hey, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and do me a favor. If you share it with somebody, hey, last time y'all shared it out, we got about 17 subscribers. If you share it one more time, maybe the same thing happens. Let's keep it going, folks.
God was good, man. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Absolutely. With 2 claps, fade to black.
Hey.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.